The nets that have been installed every summer for decades at all popular beaches, every summer in Sydney, Newcastle and Wollongong, are not barriers. Rather, they act like a trap for any large fish that swims through them. The mesh is large enough not to entrap small fish. So they act as a protection device, but they don't completely enclose a beach. In the almost 100 years since they were first introduced, there have been only 2 fatal attacks at protected beaches in New South Wales. Likewise, in Queensland, where nets have been in place at popular beaches since 1962, there have also been only 2 fatal attacks, despite there being dozens at unprotected ones. Yet it is the fatalities of fish that upsets the greenies. To these people, the death of an animal is more tragic than the death of a person, and those deaths have been steadily increasing for some years now. Here's a graph of attacks in Australia during the past 60 years. These are reported attacks and encounters. The blue is fatal attacks, the orange is injuries, and the grey is where the person involved luckily escaped unharmed. Now you'll notice that the past 2 decades have been increasingly dangerous. Some experts say this is because there are more people in the water, therefore more attacks. Well, perhaps or perhaps not. Have a look at the year when the current trend took off. It starts in 2000, when there were 3 fatal encounters, 9 that ended in injuries, and 7 with no injuries at all. You might ask if Australians started flocking in huge numbers to the beach at the turn of the millennium. Or did something else happen that led to an increasing number of encounters with large marine predators? Perhaps it was this. In 1999, great whites, having been protected close to shore by some state authorities for a handful of years, were finally granted protection federally in all Australian waters, which extend 360 kilometres around the whole continent. Well, you don't need to be a genius to work out that if you protect a dangerous animal, then the number of interactions with that animal, fatal or otherwise, are also going to increase. These are like the statistics in favour of keeping nets in the water. Shark lovers just don't want to acknowledge them. It doesn't matter how many people die as long as their precious man-eaters are protected. Nobody's bothered to explain why great whites should be protected while, for example, disease-carrying mosquitoes aren't. It's just assumed that everyone shares this awe-inspired religious reverence for powerful, dangerous sharks. Well, Bondi is our most famous beach. It attracts more tourists than Paul Hogan and his shrimp Barbie ever did. But those days could well and truly be over if the greenies on the Waverley Council and other coastal councils in Sydney get their way. And don't expect the opposition to rush to the defence of Bondi surfers and swimmers either. The Nationals and Liberals are just as beholden to the Green lobby. Not that they want to talk about it. I reached out to a range of people today to come on the show, from the Waverley Council to the state government, academics, and the Surfrider Foundation, which wants to protect the animals that would eat its members. I might get someone from the Surfrider Foundation on soon, but if any of the other representatives of the shark-hugging community would like to come on the show, send me an email. I won't bite.